All right, good evening. Round two, episode 4, All for Songs. If you're just tuning in, we're about to embark upon the second half of today's show. And if you've been watching all along, you were serenaded along with me by Andrew Marlin. So we got Dave Bruzza coming up here. It's amazing to me that it's sort of like coincidences and synchronicities that have been happening with these interviews between the two. You know, Andrew just mentioning the Crow song and the Crow reference, and that, you know, just observing some beautiful thing in nature like crows cracking nuts on the street. We were also talking about John Hartford in this. I'm going to play you a Dave Bruzza song that I love to sing. It's got some great Hartford references in it. This song is also on Tuesday Letter. I'm just going to peek. Yeah. They put the light for my mic on the back of it, so I can't see if it's working or not. I have to stand up awkwardly like that. So this song, Broken Highways, is also on Tuesday Letter. We're really flashing it back. And I remember when the first time Dave played it for me, I loved it. I still do. So I'll play it for you on this old Washburn guitar. Let's try that a little better. Records are scratched, tapes are unwound, trying to find a song to ease my mind. Boxes and pictures scattered on the floor, with a tear in my eye, I could go through them all, trying to find just who you were. The one who saved me, the one who made me, the one who left me here on my own. Now the sun is up and the sky is green, wishing my life could be a dream. Something as sweet as walking with you, or a banjo singing one of Hartford's tunes, like skipping in the Mississippi blues, or the Julia bell swing, Natchez whistle, something I cannot put my finger on. Traveling down life's broken highway, carrying a load I'm bound to run. My record's scratched, my tapes are unwound. Yeah, I love that song, Dave. So if you don't, there's a bunch of John Hartford song titles in there. If you're not so familiar, the Julie Bell Swing, the Natchez Whistle, the reference I mentioned before. That's great. I love singing that song. Thanks, Dave. Let's see if Dave's ready to join us. Dave, have you requested to join? I don't see you in the request box. Hello, Dave. Are you in that? Dave's not here right now, man. All right, well, I'll just have a sip of my old fashioned while we look for him. I'm having an old fashioned from Mythology Distillery, not too far from my house. They brought this for me, and they brought me some mix. I'll have you know, Mythology I use. There he is. You got to converted ounces to tablespoons and everything. So, happy Sunday, y'all. Dave is joining us now. Hey, buddy. Are you frozen, or just give me a real serious look?
Probably frozen.
You seem frozen. There you are. Kind of. You're there, kind of. Okay, we're getting you a little better now. But your internet's just catching up with us here.
Hi.
How are you, man? Oh, your mom's here. Hi, Judy.
Hey, Mom.
Do you remember when, bro, you played Broken Highways for me for the first time, or writing that song? Want to talk about that at all?
I remember writing it.
Was that like Clinton Street era of Greensky Bluegrass?
That's when I lived. Mike and I and Melissa lived on Clinton Street. Yeah. I actually got really inspired from a couple Wilco songs. I was listening to Being There a lot at that time in my life, and a lot of John Hartford back then. And I remember sitting in that living room and writing it. I don't remember playing it for you for the first time. I do remember writing I guess it's the bridge at the end in West Virginia at the Purple Fiddle.
Yeah.
I think you suggested to me that it could use a bridge, if I remember right, but that was 2005?
Yeah, thinking about 2005 was when we were writing those songs, so 15 years ago. It's crazy. Do you remember I listened to the studio version of it a little bit today before playing it. There's a couple of the words I mess up sometimes and change. And when Tim Carbone produced that record, Tuesday Letter for us, and that was a big deal for us. And we did it in our friend Jake's cabin. We recorded in one room. I always love the way that record sounds. We recorded it in one room together. But we were doing this steel track, overdubbing this. There's this eerie steel sounding thing that happens on it. If you go listen to it after this. And Al Bates was there playing steel, right?
Yeah, it was Al.
It's so cool. There's this major 7 he plays on the walk down that we never do anymore that we should bring back. But
no, I never wanted.
You don't like that?
I didn't like any of the 7s in there.
It's so cool. I forgot about it.
That was actually like the one thing that, working with Tim was really easy. But that was the one thing I think that Tim and I didn't see eye to eye on that song. But it's pretty subtle.
It's got a real
listen.
Pink Floyd vibe to it somehow or something.
Yeah.
But we're recording this ambient steel track thing where like Al's just like rocking the bar on the strings, and it was like taking longer than it should have or something like that. And I dropped a marker, and Tim got so pissed off because I blew the take, and I was like, devastated. And our engineer covered for me and said that
John took the fall for you. I just saw John in Kalamazoo at the Unsafe show. He was in the opening band. It was really great to catch up with him, actually.
Yeah, Ian Gorman and John Campos we recorded those records with. Those are some good dudes.
Yeah, I actually just talked to Ian 2 days ago. We were asking each other what our favorite classic baseball games that we can watch right now are.
Yeah. So, yeah. Did you catch that new tidbit about crows from Andrew Marlin? He sends.
I did. I was on there, so I did receive the kiss, Andrew. Thank you. It's somewhere buried in my phoffman beard.
Your beard is looking good, man. Let's see. Put your head up a little. Let's see.
Oh,
Oh
you don't
yeah,
want to see the stripe?
yeah, dude.
Longest it's ever been. Don't have anywhere to go. So,
Did I get the story right? Rhodey told you that, right, about the farmers and the
yeah.
funeral?
Yeah, me and Rhodey and Mr. Jimmy were out in Nashville for lunch. And Rhodey said that story to me. I instantly like started writing down some lines. And, Jimmy, of course, is like, that's what a songwriter does, man. But yeah, I thought it was really fascinating. And I think Andrew's right about the crow being the kind of poet of the bird world.
Someone else wrote on there that while we were doing that they hold grudges and pass them on to generations to come. I'm not sure if they were trying to make a joke or if that's real, but I'll believe it.
Maybe it's some kind of superstition. I do know that they recognize faces.
You saw that on
So
there too.
yeah,
That's
they recognize
crazy.
faces, and like what Andrew was talking about, they'd pick up like a some kind of nut or whatever, and they'd just fly up and drop it so it'd break open so they can get the meat. They're pretty smart birds, actually.
That must be why farmers don't like them because they have to outsmart a smart creature.
I guess so, but they're pretty interesting, and the fact that you know a bunch of them are called a murder, that was also fascinating to me. And so when Aaron and I wrote a lot of the words and sent it to, I work with Aaron Allen a lot, writing lyrics, and he was able to fill in a lot of that stuff. It was pretty effortlessly to get the words together, which is, for me, my hardest part of writing a song is finding something to say. Even though I have something in my head, I have an idea, but sometimes I just have a hard time getting it into words to get it
Yeah,
out.
and with Aaron, you kind of communicate the idea in your conversational speak, and
Yeah,
he that's his lyrical thing. For those of you who've watched multiple episodes, Aaron Allen is the songwriter that Josh Davis works with a lot. I wrote Against the Days with him. Bont wrote Cathedral with him. He's a great lyricist.
yeah.
Um,
I think he helped. He's done a couple with me. Uh, Worried about the weather. And what's fascinating about Aaron, and that song's a good example, is the only line I had for the song was worried about the weather. So that's what I sent him. And then he sent me like 30 verses of stuff.
yeah,
And
he's that way.
it's great. He's fun to work with. We actually were working together last week. We got on a FaceTime call and put some things together, and pretty happy with what we're putting together right now. It's pretty fun. I enjoy working with him a lot. Simple.
Yeah, that idea too of having just like the one image, like that's the creative part. Sometimes that's the big part. Like you have this idea, worried about the weather, or this idea about crows, and finding that idea.
Hmm.
Sometimes when you heard the story about the crows, you have this grand idea of what it means and what it could mean, and it's hard to just like get your hands on all those things because to you, it's so much bigger than the crows.
Hmm.
So that when you communicate that to someone else, sometimes they're like, "Yeah, that makes total sense," and it's like, you know, a justification for your creative idea or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting putting that all together because I don't know if it's what happens in that story, but something, there's definitely some tragedy going on,
Yeah.
and it's kind of lonesome and sad. This person, someone asked for help and it fell on deaf ears, basically, is the long and short of it. And then that person gets regretful in the end because they could have done something and they realize that. So it's kind of a sad song.
This guy's edgy, man. It's got blood. There's
So
blood. There's
edgy.
drugs. There's
Yeah,
death.
there's drugs. There's drugs.
Yeah, that made me nervous to record it. I was like, this is just so edgy.
Whatever, use the F word in songs. That's probably
Yeah,
more edgy than cocaine.
I do say fuck a lot.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, pretty soon I'll just stop saying fuck around my daughter.
That's probably a good move.
That's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Do you want to play that song for us, bro?
Murder Crows?
I mean, you don't have to. You can play a different
Sure.
song.
I haven't played it in a really long time.
If you weren't planning, we can talk about it and you can play something else. These people know that song. Aubrey's here and she said it's her favorite song.
Thanks, Aubrey. Well, it's Gibbs Sunday,
Oh, that's your J48. Is that what that's called?
J45.
J45. Is that a slope shoulder like my Robinson is? Same
Yeah.
kind of thing. Okay.
This is just like the guitar Santa Cruz builds me, or kind of copied off of this.
Did I talk about that right with Andrew Marlin? Is it kind of like a grand auditorium slope shoulder? Is that two different things?
Those are two different things, but that's okay. Here, I'll get this and see if I can put my capo on. No, that one doesn't work.
Oh yeah, on my Washburn I have to use this pickup because nothing fits around the baseball bat neck.
That's a nice guitar. You remember that's what I did the solo of Burn Them on, that guitar.
Yeah, and just listening.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that part.
Were you over at my house that night I got it out when I had just gotten it back from Jake at like 2 a.m. after we were at a show and started playing it and discovered it was cracked on the bottom?
No.
You
But
might have lived in Fort Collins then.
did you get that at Sullivan's Music in Santa Cruz? Is that the place?
I think that's the place. Yeah, it's a narrow one with the.
Yeah, I think it's Sullivan's.
Yeah.
Really good
Remember we
guitar
were on
shop.
tour. Nat Keefe was on tour with us, riding in the van, and Nat and I were sitting in the back of the van playing it.
Yeah. Nat. Man, he's a good dude. You know, last summer, was it last summer? I guess it was 2 summers ago. He called me up out of the blue, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? I can't remember what the date was. He's like, what are you doing this date? I'm like, actually, I'm off. Why, what's going on? He's like, well, we're singing the national anthem in San Francisco at the Giants game. They're playing the Cubs. Wonder if you want to fly out and watch your team lose in San Francisco. So, yeah, I got clearance to go for the weekend to San Francisco. I stayed with Dustin Edwards because he lives right by the ballpark. Like, he's like second market. But it was fun because I was that jerk before the game on the field wearing a Cubs jersey. The only guy besides them. They're all in their Giants gear singing the national anthem.
That's awesome.
That's a good
Forgot
dude.
about that.
All right, let's see if I can play this song. I'll switch over to.
You playing any original key, man?
Yeah, it's an E now.
E. Okay, yep. All right, somebody was asking.
She wrote you a letter you ain't never read. Sent out on your doors since the day that she sent it. She had a lot to say, but the words just blew away. The letters got replaced with things she didn't say. Then broke to the bench and we hoped and romance. The rest of the murder fell into the telephone line. Lost lovers and friends, well, they will all attend. Roses and innocence, all the field goodbye. Wrote it all down with the eagle's feather, dipped in cocaine and blood. A diamond needle on a broken record, melody never sung. Stumbling for hours over pages with gilded edges. In newsprint, spin lift sharp ledges. The image you saw out of focus now will turn. An envelope left on the line of horizon. Roll it all down, the eagles fell, dipped in cocaine and blood. A diamond needle on a broken record, the melody never sung. turning pages, wash out the memories left lost and faded. Call out her name, only left unsettled. A lone photograph, 1,000 unspoken words. She wrote it all down in the evil spell, dipped in cocaine blood. A diamond needle on a broken record, melody never showed.
Reread.
It's weird when you play them without the band, right? And you get to a part where you're like, oh, what should I do here?
Well, I honestly haven't. I don't think we played it at our last performance in Phoenix. I don't think I've played that song in like a couple months. Probably not since our winter tour.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun song.
It's cool. And it's cool how like you and I have like a shared vocabulary over time. Like that one has the song on or broken needle on melody never sung. It kind of reminds me of one of my lyrics that's song unheard, left out of tune from
Yeah.
Beauty and Pain or whatever.
No more.
Or oh, it's no more fun. Yeah, Tuesday Ladder, more Tuesday Ladder stuff.
Yeah.
Or like when I wrote Run Die and played it for you, it's got the line about the dynamite, and you were like, oh, you commented on that. Like we sort of like share these images over time and recirculate them through each other's material.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dynamite one. You also had a hand in, I think it was Cold Feet. There was a line that you said to me. I was at your house on Wall Street when I was writing that. I'm trying to think of what the line was. I liked it. I think I took it.
Good.
It's there in Cold Feet.
So you, you know, it's interesting to interview you because I know all the answers to the questions usually. But when you started playing guitar, did you just kind of started writing songs straight off, or writing your own blues?
You know, I did that. I think mostly I was really fascinated by bluegrass when I started playing guitar. So I was learning a lot of bluegrass songs. But yeah, I wanted to write songs.
The coal miner song that you wrote, that was a reappropriation of a bunch of different songs.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it called Coal Miner?
I don't remember what we called
it. Excuse me.
It was a very short-lived thing, though.
What was the melody like on that song? Picking his bones.
It's kind of like, yeah, it's basically dark as a dungeon. You know that song? Dark as a dungeon, damp as the dew. Na, 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 na. But then it changed from there. I can't really remember how it went.
Went down.
Yeah.
Picking his bones.
Yeah. We all go through growing pains when you work and write songs, you know.
I love that song.
Yeah.
What have you been? You've been doing a little writing with Aaron Allen. What's your acts of choice? Do you switch between guitars, and do you find that has an influence on?
No, I just like playing all of them because they're so fun to play. I mean, you know, all in all, I think I have around 30 guitars right now. Most of them are in my storage unit. And Bont gave me a guitar for my birthday that he's going to ship me apparently someday. I don't know, Bont, if you're out there.
Yeah, what up, Bont?
You got my address, bro. No, lately I've actually been really, really into playing. I bought my first Telecaster, this thing, in Chicago. I've been loving this because it feels like an acoustic guitar to me. And
you got an amp in there?
Yeah, I got all these toys.
Maybe you should play one on that.
Sure. Yeah, I would show you, but it's a little embarrassing. It's like I have this amp over here, and then I got a bunch of pedals on the floor that I've been playing around with. So I got this, I got a bunch of guitars back here in the corner. I usually can keep 4 or 5 out at a time because I was tired of going back into my bedroom to grab another guitar.
I stopped putting them all away. I have 5 instruments sitting out in this room right now. So that sounds good on this. Do you remember when we wrote, so for those of you watching along, Bottle Dry and Dave and I wrote together. Was that in my house on the east side of town?
Yeah, Arthur Street.
I was still living on Arthur Street. Mm-hmm. And I was looking back over that record, and it's like Tuesday, there's all these songs about moving. That was in that era where we were going to maybe move to Asheville as a band. Mm-hmm. We were kind of writing Bottle Dry about how we were fed up and ready for some change.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
I don't like it's so long ago.
It was right after Wheatland.
Tuesday Letter's got that Wheatland vibe in it too.
Yeah. Those were really fun times. I loved going to Wheatland. We'd have our big camp and make big dinners and maybe have a few of these.
Man, we played bluegrass all night in that era. So you remember getting yelled at on the radio? Like one of our friends was working security, and they would like get a radio call, and they'd be like, "We got a lot of noise over by such and such camp," and then our friend would be like, "I'm on it." He'd be like, "Keep going, guys."
What should I play?
Whatever you want, man.
What have I been playing? Well, this was fun to play the other day, but I'll play it again.
Well, woke up this morning, stuck my head out the door. Tail was my milk, I could tell when she more there. You see my milk cow. Please drive her on home. 'Cause I have no milk and butter, my cow's been gone. Well, you gotta treat me right, honey, day by day. Out your little prayer book, get on your knees and pray, gonna need me, baby. Someday, Lord, you're gonna be sorry you treat me this way. Well, I woke up this morning, stuck my head out the door. It was my milk cow, I could tell the way she more. Yeah, if you see my milk cow, please drive her on home. 'Cause I ain't had no milk and butter, so my cow's been gone. 'Cause I ain't had no milk and butter since my cow's been gone.
Whoops. Yeah. I'm fascinated.
Man, if we still had the One Night Stand band up and running, you could play that in the One Night Stand band.
Oh,
or we could both play our Gibson
ES 125T. Well, you have a 3/4 size.
I got mine out recently.
Look, I have mine right here. It says Gibbs Sunday.
Look how cute we are. Dude, this thing's hard to play. This 3/4 length scale, man. When I start trying to play songs on it, the chords are so tight, which is funny because I play mandolin.
This thing's been sounding real good to me lately.
When you were playing that, somebody was requesting kerosene. Did you write kerosene on acoustic guitar or electric guitar? How did that process go, writing that song?
We were in Santa Cruz, California.
Like staying out at Dean's or something?
Yeah, we were at Dean's place.
Lizard Ranch. Speaking of Nat Keefe, Nat Keefe was probably living there at that time.
Maybe.
See, it's
But
all...
I always stayed in the Strawbill house when we stayed out with them. It was a really beautiful day, and everyone was hiking up to the top to that tree, and I had something going in my head, and I was like, I'm going to hang back for a bit. I hung out in the Strawbill house. I told this to Dean, and it blew his mind, too, like semi-recently. I was like, I wrote that song because he brought it up that he liked it so much, and like, I wrote that on your property. And yeah, I sat in that house and basically wrote it all right then. I remember when I played it for you guys, it kind of had mixed reaction from the band. You guys weren't so sure about it or really that into it. So I was fine with that because at that time I was also making that record with Ian. And I was like, oh, cool. I'll just put it on this record now.
Well, I love that song now. Remember I played the wrong chord on the recording of it because it's like that pentatonic thing. And I played the third of the E chord a couple times, like the G sharp against the G in the melody. It's cool, but we argued about it as a band forever.
Well, the actual chords are pretty simple. See how close this one is.
Man, I wish we could play music together. Hey, y'all, when we can get together, Dave's going to come over and we'll play for you together.
Yeah.
We'll rebuild the One Night Stand band.
So the actual chord qualities of the tune are my favorite. I don't know what this one is. Where you leave your middle finger off of a D shape.
It's no third. You're playing a F sharp, a sus2.
So I do it with a drop 2.
So sometimes I play that third, that G sharp, but the melody's got the G in it. So there's a... Cool.
And when I play the D, I'm actually only playing D, E, A, E, F sharp.
Yeah, sus2 or add 9 if you're at the above or whatever.
Yeah.
People are asking about you playing in drop D. Dave plays in drop D all the time.
Yeah. So I people make my guitars.
Yeah, talk about that thing. That's cool.
Called a hip shot, and what it does is so you can do like So I love to play in this position. And then that chorus is actually it's like a G, but it's a G, A, D, F sharp.
It's like a G major 7?
Kind of.
Cool.
I don't know what I'm doing. And then I just moved my ring finger to that for the second chord, and then it goes back to E. Then when it goes back to that D, I do what I do in the verses, which is instead of a D, it's an E, a high string. So once I learn how to play guitar, I'll be able to explain that better, probably.
Man, sometimes it's better if you don't know what you're doing. When I'm at home writing, I try to like do things on the guitar. Like I'm working on this thing that does this like, and I like don't even know what it is. But it's like if you're just kind of playing and you don't know what you're playing, then you're playing from some other place, like what you.
Yeah. It's hard sometimes when I'm trying to like convey that idea and I can't, my communication skills of explaining things are not my forte. Like, it goes like this. I want it to sound like this.
Yeah, that's part of the beauty. That's part of the beauty of what we do, interpreting it. Do you want to play us the third song, man?
Sure. You want to? Maybe I can start. I'd probably kill you and you can finish it.
Okay.
Does that seem like something? Oh, we should.
Yeah. Hold on.
Do you have a little amp for your?
Oh man, I don't know if I should play it on the electric. I'll try. What the hell? What the hell?
All right.
You're gonna have to tell me what it sounds like. I think I'll probably have to use my earpiece mic so that we don't interfere with each other too much.
Let's see.
Yeah, man, I got an amp. I got my Fender Deluxe in the corner over there. Thanks, Fender. I love that thing.
Yeah, that's what I have here too. Is the other.
Hopefully, I don't wake Juniper up. Oh wait, I can't play in that position. I'll never know what all the chords are. Can you hear my guitar? Should I turn it up?
All right. It's hard to tell. I can hear you.
Here, I'm gonna turn mine down so we can appreciate
Your mini guitar and my full-size guitar, the same model. Is that a 1960 as well?
I can't remember what year it is.
This one's a 1960.
Look how the tuners are all bent on it.
Yeah, I have replaced tuners, but from 1962.
Ooh, let me tune this up for a sec. So, yeah, I'd probably kill you. I wrote this song after seeing Surprising Mr. Davis at High Sierra Music Festival. If anybody's familiar with that band, Nathan Moore. It's like Nathan Moore and the Slip. I talked about the Slips record on this show last week. It was like this psychedelic country thing, and I was so jealous. And then when I wrote it, I recorded it, and the harmony part was so fun to sing. I wanted Dave to sing the melody so I could sing harmony over the whole thing. And Dave was like, "What? You want me to sing a song called 'I'll Probably Kill You'? Like, what are you setting me up for?" You were so weirded out.
I was. I remember the first time we played it. I think we were in the weird green room at the Bottleneck in Lawrence, Kansas, the upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
I was really just like, dude, this is kind of dark, but kind of playful, but what is going on? I like it so much. I play it a lot still. I play it on Safe Any Speed. Shimon takes a huge drum solo at the end of it, too. We do it all funky and stuff. It's a good song for rock and roll. So, where do we trade off?
Okay, so we got some comments about my sound here. I'm going to switch off this mic. Let's see what happens. How about you sing the first verse in the chorus, and then I'll sing the second verse in the chorus. And then you play the bridge in the next verse, and then I'll play the chorus.
Okay, I think I remember.
Hold on, let me see if I can get my mics to switch here.
Yeah, we'll see. This might sound weird, everybody, but we're doing it for fun.
Because we have to, because this has been my dream ever since you got that guitar, was to play with the mini guitar and this one.
We're doing it, man.
Well, yours isn't a thin line though, is it? I can't remember. Oh yeah. So I play the how's it go again? What are we doing here?
Verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus.
Okay. I'd probably kill you if it wasn't already wasted. Might want to regret this, would take the chance that I might forget how to get you out of everybody's way. Just so damn fabulous, didn't even think of saving something. I want just like you, I can't say it. You're something I thought of first, didn't make it. You end up just like me, so much better.
eyes on the things I've earned off long neck bottles while you're racing circles around the women I've known and the things I bought 'em. How I paid to someday find you 2 steps behind with your head side, asking for something I want just like you, but I can't say what's just something I thought of first, just didn't make it. You ended up just like me, but so much better.
Might burn your house down. I'll somehow sure Billy String was in there. Wouldn't want to bring you any more uneasy sympathy. That you never struggle on your own. 'Cause your people love you, would never dream of letting you suffer.
I want to be just like you, but I can't say it's something I thought of first, just didn't make it. You ended up just like me, but so much better. I'd
I'd
probably
probably
kill
kill you.
Cool, dude.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that on the replay. I almost picked up my mandolin, but we were having such a twin guitar moment.
These things are cool, man. This was, you know, I bought this a couple years ago, maybe 8 years ago. And it's so funny that I've written a lot of songs on this thing because I can sit here and play it unplugged too, you know?
Yeah.
And I actually, the recording of Take Cover, I'm using this guitar plugged into an amp on our album.
On the studio record?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that, man.
We put it through the bell head, Glenn's bell head, into a nice cabinet. So we had that really just real swingy vibe to it.
Well, it's good to see you, man.
You too. It's been a while. It's weird that we live just a couple miles away from each other, but
Yeah, this is our 31st day at the house. So,
yeah. Well, I think we're all going to get through this and everything's going to be okay. Trying to keep my head up, not read the news as much. But,
yeah. Well, will you come over and play music, and or I'll come over there and we'll have some old fashions.
I would love an old fashioned, actually, because I am out of beer. I'm going to have to put the rubber gloves on and venture out into the
Send beer now. All right. Well, I'll talk to you soon, buddy. I love you.
Love you too. Thanks for having me.
Anders is here. Let's get the hell out of here.
What?
Anders is here. Let's go.
Anders is here? All right. Well,
Yeah,
love
quick,
you, Paul.
quick.
Thanks for having me. And I'll talk to you soon.
Love you, brother.
How do I get out of this thing? There it is. Boom.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining today. All for Songs, episode 4, featuring Andrew Marlin from Mandolin Orange and Dave Bruzza from Greensky Bluegrass. I am Phoffman signing out. Send love. Take care.